What's happening, my beautiful people? My name is Mike LaBelle. Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Allergies, still not proficient, struggling, seasonal shifts. But today we're talking about enjoyable players, which makes me happy. If you want more of this, please like the video. Tell your friends, tell your mother, your father, call your bestie, let them know what's happening. Put this in the group chat. Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Shout outs coming soon. And this doesn't really have a lot of criteria. Throw it on screen. Players I enjoy using. They give me that vibe, usually a heavy vibe. You're literally counting your blessings with these types of players and how they incorporate or become a corporation in the starting 11. How they dictate what's happening. Most of them, if not all, are going to be offensive weapons. I'm not really focusing on the defense. Maybe I should. I put a little more stressor. But when I get that razzle dazzle, that shimmy, that shake, take me to the shack. Yes, it's a pun. Or a play on words. Shake Shack. If you have not been, you're missing out. If you're down south, you know about the Whataburger. Compare and contrast it to the 5 guys. This video is gonna have 10 guys. And it sounds weird saying 5 guys followed by 10 guys. But we don't have 15 guys. But I will make videos that often include 15 men in order on a top 15 countdown or list. Has this gotten weird yet? Let me know who are your favorite players to use, most enjoyable, most fun, guys that just constantly make it into your squads, have always made a difference. Does not matter in price point, rating, overpowered, underrated, I don't care. Guys that you love, that you appreciate, that have changed your experience with playing FIFA 21. Can I get a hashtag organics in the comments section? If you know, then you know. Podolski, we're doing construction. Actually, we're working on the windows in my apartment. So if you hear background noise, it was Podolski making a phone call, and these men are still drilling into the walls based on the Podolski command. But he combined so much positivity for how I want to play FIFA. That level of expression where you have a true 94 sprint speed, that's rare, with a true 92 strength. We got a Range Rover 4-wheel drive Nitro. It's a nice little hybrid, the combination, which is gonna allow you to not only be able to big body, push through center defensive midfielders or center backs, split the defense, be able to body bump. You got the railroad, but he also has 5-star skills, link up play because EA gave us options. So you got direct yet precise with long distance shooting. We got an assassin, we got a sniper. I've had a lot of moments with Podolski. He has to be on my list. And I might have some recency bias as we go through these. Speaking of, Atal, man, what a legend. At least a FIFA legend. I got a question. Please, I challenge you in the comments. Any of you watching this video, get your Twitter fingers out or your keyboard out. Who in FIFA 21 is a more versatile player than this 87 overall Atal? Oh wait, this man can play 10 out of 11 positions, and he might even be okay as a goalkeeper. I've just never put him into motion. I can't confirm. I haven't tested this gentleman in that type of role. He's resourceful. If we got lost or we went on a season of Survivor, I would put all my cash flow if I was a betting man on Atal being just fine with adaptability. In fact, he's so complete. You might question, where do you play him? Do you want a fullback, a center mid, a winger, a striker, a center attacking mid? Maybe you're going undersized and you got yourself a center back, a fullback, maybe even transition him to a non-conventional center back, a little undersized, but you're making up for it with that speed, with that turning, with that directional, that lateral movement. Messi, whether you got the team of the year or you've got that new player of the month, you're just flirting with the defense. And something about your opposition knowing or being able to anticipate what you're going to do and not stopping it makes me happy, makes me feel a certain type of way, at least with Messi in particular. He is arguably the best dribbler or the quickest turner that we have in FIFA. You can get multiple touches in areas that most players just cannot. You refuse to play at dial-up speed. Even if the connection is rough, Messi is still moving faster or moving quicker. I shouldn't say faster because he's not the best with the sprint speed, regardless of the version. But if you're looking for little touches, little movements, having those types of variables, being able to provide a true number 10, a maestro, an absolute orchestrator of the attack, you're gonna have a good time with Messi. And I don't know about you, but with the angles and the finesses and the range and all these small details, I just don't feel lucky. I feel as if I've achieved greatness when I'm scoring with Messi in FIFA. Maybe that's a bias, calling him Indiana Jones Messi. If you've seen Indiana Jones, absolute classic. I feel as if my editor, Jose, when you're watching this, you do not know what Indiana Jones or who Indiana Jones is. I think you're too young for the reference. Dino, 91 plus, whatever's in your budget. Pick any of the 3 versions, whether you've got the mid, the prime, or the prime moments, just iconic in every way. This is the first pair of Nikes I ever bought regarding football. And Dino, unlike many other players, or the majority of players, because he was a cover star for multiple years, he has unique animations. He motion captured. So you're not just playing with someone who replicates high statistical allocation, but you actually have movements that are unique and personal to Dino. And you can tell when you see a flip flap, when you see the roulette, when you see the explosion, the hair moving this way and waving that way, the shoulder drop, the body feint. It feels different. It hits you a little bit deeper. This is like having the cake, the sprinkles, the candles. You got multiple birthdays. You made a wish. Your wish was delivered. This is an Aladdin Dino rebrand. Put him in a Disney movie. Serge Gnabry, foot freeze in particular. Just a baller. Just so damn underrated. I relate to this man. The touches are beautiful. Effortless. He's evasive, clean cut in so many different ways. The way that he's slicing and dicing. You don't need to play Fruit Ninja. You got yourself Serge Gnabry. Intelligent, composed, performance-based. If you completed this SBC, you have reaped the rewards. I think you're gonna co-sign with yours truly. Or you can completely disagree and we can have that discussion down below. I like a little back and forth. Cruyff. Pick any version. All 4 versions of Cruyff are spectacular. He's a blessing to any FIFA player. He puts you on the map. He's got everything you could ask for from an attacking player, whether you want a winger, an attacking mid, a striker, a secondary role, someone who floats. I'm not talking about swimming. It's someone that decorates or can just constantly find space in that attacking final third. So it doesn't necessarily have to be position locked. And he's surpassed a lot of his icon counterparts that have been competitive, his neighboring icons, in my opinion, in FIFA 21. And he's got that coveted 5-star weak foot, 5-star skill moves, and Cruyff has something pretty special about him. You can read all about it. Headline. Also has his own skill move, the Cruyff turn. Reinier. And I think there's a connection here because I constantly used him in objectives. And he not only saves me a bunch of time, but he's also saving me money because time is money, money is time. Reinier saves you both. And I found his shooting to be an experience that stands out. His finishing, the movement, the curve, both feet. Just like when you see a fresh tattoo after shaving. It's not even buttoned up or buttoned down. It's not covered yet. It's gonna stand out. It's gonna come off the skin. It's still recovering, it's still healing. The lines are deep. If you can tell by me describing this, I don't have any tattoos. Lewandowski, team of the year. This is deserved. In his case in particular, he always gets the raw end of the stick or the ordeal. Just never seems to translate to FIFA greatness, even though on the actual pitch, all he does is score goals. This resembles what you're looking for with the accolades, the recognition, goal poacher, the skills are there, the speed is there, the turning, the innovative nature, a little more natty, just a difference maker. This is a guy that could score 3 or 4 goals in a game, where I've always felt that I'm not necessarily at a competitive advantage when I go up against the standard Lewandowski or any of the other upgrades. It has to be the team of the year. But if you've used them, then you salute them, you get the Dirty Mike stamp of approval, you co-sign them, you've enjoyed them. There's no way you use Lewandowski and you thought, I wish he was better. At least not this version, not this iteration. Robben had to be on the list. You knew this was coming. I've included him on many lists. What can I say? He's a constant. This is the Dutch demigod, the Dutch firecracker, Dutch superhero, Dutch destroyer, maybe the Dutch perfectionist. At least if we're not talking about his weak foot, even though his weak foot is better than the 2-star. Robben is simply a rule breaker. It was already said, it was a statement that a 2-star weak foot was not going to be possible to be competitive. That's not true. I've seen him used in esports competitions this year. And Robben also caused a shift where players focused more and more on the traits because people wanted to know, why is he so special? His shooting is better, movement, he's a little bit quicker, some of the execution speeds, the ins, the outs. Just so many different intricacies that were noticed, and when you look through the stats, they're good. But it's more than just what you see on paper with what you're actually gonna get in the real game or in the virtual simulation. And I still use them every single week in League. I don't see that changing. Last but not least, El Shaarawy. Outside of potentially having the best name, he might also be the best pound for pound or stat for stat attacker that we have. I am surprised each time that I play with El Shaarawy in terms of what I'm able to generate. The offensive maneuverability, some of the extra skills, the fake shots, the burst of pace, and not even that he's able to do it, but the level of frequency, accuracy, validity, consistency, reliability. This guy will score 50+ goals for you every weekend league if you play all 30 games. We talking loud goals. DJ El Shaarawy, crossovers, skill moves, Allen Iverson, no practice. Don't get me revved up. I'll hit the engine. We're double down. El Shaarawy, if you've completed him, there's no way that you don't have him as a top tier attack. Thanks again for watching. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to drop some love. I look forward to the comments because this is completely subjective. Not that any of my other videos aren't subjective, but there's usually more logic involved. This is more of a personal preference across the board as opposed to a bunch of practical arguments or statistics to back the claims. We're have that discussion. That's why we have the comment section. We're uploading daily. Turn on notifications, hit the LaBelle. But I have a lot more content coming out ASAP.